What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, though? Thank you for tuning in to WFLNT Radio. Every morning this time, you can turn your dials to 810.5 for the TAGT show. It's early in the morning. Always remember to take some soft scrub, put it on your toothbrush, brush those raggedy teeth you got, follow behind it with a shot of pine salt, swish it around, but do not swallow it. It could be bad for your health. I'm your host, Mr. Slate, and I want to welcome you to the show. Let's get into it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my peoples. Yes, indeed, it's the TAGT show in the building. It's your boy, Mr. Slate, man. Checking in with y'all this morning, March 24th, 2020. It is 2:19 a.m. We are here in Noonan, Georgia, south of Atlanta, 85, baby. Absolutely, but we got in here, man, and I went like 38 minutes over my clock, which is 38 minutes in violation. But the orange man said it's okay, so we cool. We ain't got to worry about being reprimanded for going over our time. But we got here, and I'm totally out of hours. At midnight, I got back 2 hours and 9 minutes. So I have to wait until midnight to even move after I run this 2 hours and 9 minutes out. And I'm probably going to use that trying to find parking. If you're familiar with parking here in the Atlanta metro area, you can forget about it this time of day or night, rather. It's just impossible to find parking, but I can honestly say that, you know, it always works out where you can squeeze in somewhere, like somewhere that's really unorthodox for a truck to be for a little while, and then you just have to pray that somebody woke up and got busy and you can slide into that spot. But we'll see. We're getting unloaded right now. I just docked into the door and they're unloading. They're getting prepared to unload it. I hear them messing around back there on my trailer right there. So we should be good, but more than likely, yeah, we'll be sitting all day, and then around midnight we'll take off and see what we can get. What's our next destination? We'll definitely keep you posted on where we end up and what it's looking like. Haven't ran across anything looking crazy, anything at this point. Everything is still business as usual. You know, I was looking at the headlines early this morning, and it looks as though Trump is considering reopening the economy. Health experts strongly disagree that he should do that, but of course, you know the orange man, he's going to do what he wants, but I think he's going to get a lot of pushback on this. I don't think it's a good idea because this virus is still running rampant, man. There's people steady getting sick, people steady passing away. So I think we should just sit tight. We're 2 weeks in. This is the start of another week. So let's play this week out, I would say, and see what happens. You know, let's try to keep our distance. Let's try to relax and stay at home. And trust me, I know it's hard. It's easy for me to say I'm out here running and making money. I could only imagine being stuck at home and not able to work, and your kids and your wife or your mother and your father, you know, everybody needs food and your hands are tied. The stimulus package, they're still fighting over it. That hasn't came through. And to be honest with you, I believe by the time they even decide and to sit down and actually make something happen, by that time, people will be back to work. But I guess something better than nothing, you know, if you get it later, you know, for your hardships and troubles. But my prayers definitely go out to people that are definitely falling on hard times, man. I trust me, I understand. I've been there, and it wasn't because of no coronavirus. The test kits that I spoke on previously. Those test kits, man, that was a good idea. We're running out of them. We can't produce enough. Wherever we're getting them from, which I need to look at that and see who's manufacturing these test kits. If I'm not mistaken, it is a US based company, but they can't produce them fast enough. So it's like the test kits are running out. They're running out. So that fast, y'all. That fast. I mean, you got to think about it in places like New York, Los Angeles, Florida, and Dallas, Atlanta. These are major cities, and like with a lot of people, and a lot of people are infected. So to get these tests now, they're saying that it has to be a severe case. Like you almost got to be blue in the face to even receive a test. So if you come in and you just got a mild cough and you're a little feverish, and they determine like, okay, man, you okay, man, we just gonna monitor you, keep an eye on you. If you feel worse, come on back in, whatever the case is, but you're not gonna get no test. But if you come in there, you blue in the face, you're about to pass out, you can't breathe, and you just all messed up, man, on the brink of just canceling out, at that point, they'll give you a test. Can't make them fast enough, which is crazy. This country was built on industrialism, man. Like all the warehouses and shops and things that we have in this country that are closed down, that we outsourced. And then you got people sitting at home willing to work, put people to work, man, to make these gloves and these masks and these test kits, these breathing machines and things that are needed, that we are scrambling, looking to try to find out where can we get them from. It just don't make sense to me. That's why I'm thinking, like, me, myself personally, I think this was done deliberately. I don't know who to point the finger at. It's up in the air, but it's something underlying to all this, man. It's just mind-boggling. The Olympics, man, they can hang it up. I keep seeing stuff on the Olympics. There's not going to be an Olympics. No way. No way. No how. No way. No how. I don't see it. Not in this lifetime. No Olympics coming. Looking at and thinking about, like, mortgage companies, like I know they shaking in the boots because there's no payments going to be coming through, man. And nobody's working. Majority of the country is not working right now. I mean, if you're blessed to have a job where you can work from home, but we talking about the people that get up every morning, get on the bus, get on the train, go to work, do the same thing, come back home. Like, these are the people that are stuck at home. Your restaurant workers, your waitresses, your bus boys, your janitors, school teachers. That's a big part of our economy, man. So if that's not flowing, they can expect for things to go the same. So what they're going to wind up doing is yet to be seen, but I can guarantee you they are in a think tank right now to figure out how can they bounce back from this. Hopefully they're thinking about how can they help, as opposed to how can we keep our pockets fat. You know what I mean? And also shout out to, like, the people that are working in airports and stuff like that, man. If y'all still working, man, shout out to y'all. Y'all pretty much on the front line as well. I always want to give a shout out to some workers that I can think that are still out here working. And because you're on the front line, man, you out here, and it's crazy. Looks like Texas and Florida are looking to implement the stay-at-home orders. So it looks like they're next on the list. I saw Michigan. They're looking at doing it. But the thing with Texas is like, look, we don't feel it's necessary. You look at Texas. Texas is a big state. And most of that state is like farmland and small little towns. Okay, you got Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. You got Houston. Waco. Waco is a little small, but you got these wide areas. And their argument is like, hey, we tested people, and there's a small number of cases as opposed to how many people that are not infected. So for us to shut down the whole state for a few people that we know are infected, they're not feeling that, which I understand. I wouldn't be feeling that either, but it only take a couple of people to be able to just roam around, walk out there and cough and sneeze and touch on stuff and not wash their hands, and here we go. So I mean, it's like it's the flip of the coin, man. Which way you gonna go, man? You're gonna fall on your head, or you gonna fall on your neck? Like, what are we gonna do, man? So, but I honestly think we should just sit tight, ride this thing out, and bounce back. If you think about all the recessions and all the chaos that we made it through, you know what I'm saying, as a nation, we don't stick together and nothing like when, things are normal, we back fighting and this and that, y'all. But when it comes down to it, we all in this together, man, and we always bounce back. So I'm hoping this is another situation where we can bounce back. I honestly believe that this is going to bring about change. It's not going to be the same again. It's not going to be the same again. But I hope that we can I hope we learn from this. That's what I want to say. I hope we learn from this, man. I mean, so it's going to happen so many times before something that's going to happen where we can't bounce back from, because we're constantly fighting and bickering amongst each other and not sticking together, man. These other countries, man, they're eradicating that stuff, man. They're eradicating that stuff. Over there in China, they got it under control. They got it under control. You look at India, they got their stuff under control. You look at that country and go, oh, that's a poor country, but look, they got their stuff under control. And they right next door to China. If anybody should have been hit hard, it should have been like India, Russia, like the Middle East, but it's not. It's like Italy, France, US, Canada. You look at Mexico. Mexico, you didn't hear nothing about Mexico. You didn't hear nothing about Cuba. You don't hear anything about the Caribbean islands. You don't hear anything about Puerto Rico. None of that stuff. Why is that? You know what I mean? Why here? And it's spreading like wildfire here. You look over in Africa, you know what I mean? Why, there's little small spots, but you look at the US, man, and Canada and Italy and France, like this stuff is just spreading like wildfire, man. That's why I say it seems like it's done deliberately for some odd reason. I have my theories, but I'm definitely not going to speak on nothing. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself at this point and see how this plays out. But I have a good idea that somebody in the East was not happy with somebody in the West. And I'm going to just leave it at that for right now. But we'll see how it plays out, man. And if it plays out the way I think it's going to play out, then I'll definitely dive into it. But there's something going on.